Hey, this is Kevin with Kraken Knives, and I wanted to do a shop tour focusing on efficiency and working in a small space. I've set this shop up so I can move from each machine as I work through the different processes of making a knife, and I hope this really helps you. The shop is actually shaped like a horseshoe, and I did that specifically for a reason. I like to move from each machine and move down the row. It's a small space, so I need to move as efficiently as possible. So we start off here in the far left corner. This is actually my TW90 grinder. This is the workhorse of my shop for doing the handles, grinding steel, obviously. Got a little vacuum set up to this. Got a glass platen on here, much better than the steel. My other grinder is the Oregon Knife Maker. This is a 3/4 horse motor. It's a great little unit for $550. And then this one obviously is about $3,600. There's a big difference there, but I'll get into that probably in another video. This is my Powermatic bandsaw. This is a 1967 model that I completely rebuilt. Bearings, new motor. It's got a 3/4 horse ball door motor in here, so it can saw through pretty much anything. I use it only for wood though. I do have a metal cutting bandsaw that I use for G10 metal, pretty much everything else other than wood. So this, she gets a lot of use. It's great to have a lot of lighting in your shop with all these tools. You're doing some really fine work, working with steel and working with wood. You want to make sure you can see. This is my KMG Beaumont Metalworks disc grinder. This has a 1-degree bevel, which is really nice, so it won't catch a blade. And this is where you get your flats really flat on your steel. This is a great tool to have. This is my original drill press I bought for knife making, and it's been a little workhorse, I have to say. For $100, you can't go wrong. It's a little Wen. It's great. And then I upgraded to the gigantic Delta Standing, and this is an amazing machine. Lots of power. It can drill through anything, and there's almost no run out on this thing. It basically drills a perfect hole. This is my metal cutting bandsaw. It's a DeWalt, and it's a portable bandsaw, portaband, so you actually would hold it. But Swag has an amazing table that you can buy, and it turns it into basically a bandsaw, a regular bandsaw. And I love this thing. Use it all the time. Definitely a must-have for cutting steel, pins, G10 tougher materials. This thing is unbelievable. Up here, drill bit storage. You are going to go through a lot of drill bits. This is my Even heat treating kiln. This is what I use to harden the steel in my knives. It's got a Rampmaster controller, so you can actually input all your recipes. These are the top 4 steels I use, so I've got all my recipes written down right here, so I know exactly what I'm doing. Right here is my oil quench tank. And then right here is the stainless steel aluminum plate quench tank. You can go ahead and put your knife in there when it's hot, and then basically instantly cools it, dropping that down on there. Here are knives in progress, forged to drilled and flattened, just need bevels done. These are going to be handles. I'm working on these right now. This is my granite surface plate. This is amazing. It's over 100 pounds, but it's to get anything flat and perfect. This is definitely a necessity. Right here, we've got the toaster oven. This is how I temper the steel and soften it. And right here in the tool chest, I've got knife scales. On this side, I've got pinning material, brass for bolsters, and then liner material to glue up the scales to. Overhead storage, lots of clamps. You can never have too many clamps. This is a selection of files. You use files a lot. If you're just starting out, you can make a knife with just a file. And then this is my knife buffer. This is how I get the luster and shine on all my knives and the handles. I have a couple different buffs on here, and huge selection of other ones that I keep up here. But these are the main two I use, green and white rouge. This is my knife maker vise. It's actually made out of pool balls. This is really handy. Trusty bench vise. You have to have a bench vise. More tool storage, magnetic tool storage right here. More clamps, as you can see. And then down here are some, I've actually already flattened these out. These are scales that have been glued up that are ready to go. Right here, this is my Pana vise. This is what I use when I'm actually gluing up the scales. It's really handy. It's got a solid base to it. Can move it around. This right here is a hardness tester. So it's a handheld hardness tester, so I can see what Rockwell hardness my blades are at. Right here, these are a couple knives that are. This one just finished. This is in progress right here. Nice little knife right there, and then this is a 8.5 inch chef, which is kind of my favorite knife to make in my own design. Blue masking tape, essential. Every time I go to a hardware store, I buy one of these. For keeping your blade safe, for if you want to put an edge on it, you don't want to scratch anything, I always keep my blades taped up. These are my magnifiers. These are good for close-up work. My Fordham tool, this is a great tool to have. Drills holes, etches, you want to do handle engraving, this is a great tool to have. Right here I've got a bunch of the punches I've had made, different Kraken symbols, octopus. My forging area of the shop. Right here, this is the tong rack. I've got all different sizes of tongs for different size material. This is my hammer rack. I've got everything from a 5-pound down to this totally adorable 16 ounce. This is my main forge. It's a forced air forge. Got a blower down here which blows air up, and then right here, this is where the propane comes in and it lights in here. This is a killer forge. I love this thing. And then over here, this is my Peddinghaus 170-pound anvil, and this is definitely one of the stars of the shop. This is Kevin with Kraken Knives. I wanted to do a video that talked about setting up a shop in a small area like this. So it took a long time to figure out efficiencies in here, but I appreciate this video and I hope it helps you set up your shop. I didn't have any information about what the best shop. Enjoy this video and I hope this works for you. I don't know.